Hi there, this is Ani. Welcome to my art community. Please join me to paint with watercolors for the very first time. Hola, hola! Today I'm gonna be trying watercolors for the very first time. I'm usually painting with oil painting in my paintings all the time. I am an oil painter, which is the opposite of watercolor basically. So this is gonna be my very first time trying. Watercolors are very popular nowadays. So let's see. I'm gonna be using this Mont Marte set that I just got in Marshalls for $7 Canadian, so very very cheap. I had good experience with Mont Marte before. They do amateur paintings, but they have very good colors and the quality is very good for me, so I think this is going to be very fun. I'm also going to be using the Mont Marte set of brushes. It's also for watercolors, so let's see what's going to happen with this. They look fine to me. There's a lot of dust, you can't see it, but I can smell it. Oh, I got this one too, which is watercolor pencils. I never heard of this before, so I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with them. That's exciting as well. This jars for water, and then these plate just to mix in colors. I actually had watercolor paper before because I use it sometimes for oil painting, and I did this flower design because flower has a lot of colors. So okay, let's do it. I'm gonna start with a pre-painting as well. Now before this, I was taking a look to some YouTubers, some YouTube channels that talk about watercolors, to see the difference, to see some tutorials, because I've never done this and I know it's very different than oil painting. So I am going to start with the pre-painting, as I usually would do with oil painting as well, which basically means trying to define a little bit of the values for my painting. First the colors and then the values of those colors. So basically which areas I want them to be a little bit darkened and a little bit darker, and a little bit brighter. Now I'm going to be using different techniques. For example, in this one I'm trying to put a lot of water in the pigment, which makes it look like this very beautiful watercolor appearance, right? Like everything is moving a lot, and I'm putting different colors to see how they mix in water right there. So yeah, it's looking good so far. In this area I'm gonna start applying water first, which is, I believe they call it wet on wet. First water, and then I'm gonna start applying a little bit of this pigment here, which I really like this color. And I love how it's moving through the water. It's so marvelous how to see how the colors kind of like mix and float around. So far what I really like is how the painting moves without me moving it so much actually. So yeah, that is wet on wet, I believe they call it like that. And now I'm gonna be moving slowly to mix the colors a little bit better. I'm gonna repeat the same for the rose in the middle, which I'm gonna be using red. So first water, and then I'm gonna apply pigment and painting and move it around. I love to see how the water moves. Now let's put more red here to make it a little bit darker, because we do want a very dark red rose. Alright, so I'm gonna repeat the same with the leaf and all the green areas right here. There we go, putting water first and then more pigment. I really like this kind of wet on wet thing, so I'm using it a lot. And here I wanted to try to mix the colors in the water, so I'm using two different colors and actually a third one there, and mix them. Here I'm gonna use green, blue and yellow to see what kind of green I can create, to see how the leaves are moving a little bit more. For these little flowers I'm gonna use two opposite colors, complementary colors, blue and orange, and again I want to see how they move, how they mix in the same water, which so far is what I like the most about this style of painting. It is completely different than oil painting. Now here I'm going to use a little bit more pigment, so a little bit more dry painting to have a stronger color and to create a contrast with the other green. Okay, so the pre-painting is almost done. After this, I should start applying some real colors. So I'm gonna start with this purple flower right here, and I'm gonna start with the darker areas first, which later on I remember this is not what you do in the watercolors. So usually in oil painting, you will start with the darker values, and then you will move towards the lighter one. I believe in watercolor you'll start with the lighter one, because you almost have no use of white or like light. Like there's no white in my palette so far, so I think you can't paint on top, and then you will move slowly to the darker values. So I did the opposite here, but well, we're trying. Hopefully we're gonna create something good. And with these little brushes and the different colors, I'm trying to create kind of like texture for these petals. So I'm adding a little bit of orange right here as well, and with the red moving the brushes in the sense that we can create some textures hopefully. And then a little bit of water to mix it more. Alright, so I'm gonna proceed to do the same with the rest of the painting. You see I have advanced a lot, and I want to really use this watercolor pencil. So I'm gonna use the pencil first. This is dry now, just to apply some colors. They look very good, actually. I really like them. And I'm gonna take a wet brush and paint on top just with water, and look how it moves. It's very, very pretty. Like it really works to create some strong colors right there, and to create some like very strong contrast. Okay, I have finished the painting in this sense right here. You can see I completed everything with color, using strong pigments, the leaves, and now I want to try this. So I'm gonna start applying just the painting first, like wet painting, and then I'm gonna mix with different colors. But what I want to try first is to apply the painting, different colors, and then try to mix with water, just with water, to see what happens. So I'm applying just water now on top of this, and look, like the paintings are moving very, very good, and they're mixing very nicely. I love this kind of like natural mixing that you get with watercolors. It's like very organic. Okay, and the other one I'm gonna do the opposite. So I'm gonna start wet, applying color, and then I am going to apply just water actually, and then pigment, to see how the pigment moves in the water. So I put just water there, and then just the blue, dry blue, let's say. And I love how it moves. It moves on at its own rhythm. I'm not controlling anything here, which is great. I understand why people like it so much now. Okay, I'm gonna use the pencils again, which I love so far. And then water. So this is giving me this very strong color here, which I actually need in this part of my painting. And I'm gonna use a little bit of blue to create some contrast, and to add some blue in this part of the painting. Right there. Now with the pencil, I'm gonna define a little bit more of the leaves. I really like this for an extra detail. And now I'm gonna do water first and then pencil to see what happens. And look, this is a very strong color. I love this. So I put water there and then the pencil. Now I'm gonna do the opposite, the pencil first, and then I'm gonna use water later on. There we go. It's also beautiful. It's not as strong as the other color, but there you have two different options. Now I wanna try white, because I have a white pencil here. And actually I can create some kind of like white lines to create some highlights. The set also comes with this painting, which I don't know if it's acrylic, it's watercolor, but it seems different. But I can do highlights with this, so I'm gonna actually use it. I hope I will have used like a different background. I'm using white as background. Probably I should paint it before to have a different set. And that is it. There you go. Well, I hope you like it. I actually like it very much. It was very fun. It was very friendly. I like the red in the rose. That's my favorite part so far, because I think it's the one that has different values. This blue one I really like as well, and I like the light on this big kind of like orange flower. So the painting were actually very good. I am happy. I'm sure professional painters must be much better, but that did well, and I love this. I'm absolutely gonna try this again and to experiment more with that. The brushes were fine, but I think brushes are always good if you had a better quality brush. And that's it. That's my very first watercolor painting. A lot of colors, so there you go. Now, do you paint watercolors? Please let me know in the comment. What are your techniques? If you can recommend me other YouTube channels to keep learning this. I absolutely want to give it a try. Please remember to subscribe to this channel. Take a look to my different painting videos or drawing videos. I have a lot of art content. So please subscribe, like, and comment. That really helps me grow. And hopefully I'll see you very soon in the next occasion. Take care.